Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the BH Cosmetics Passion in Paris eyeshadow palette. Now this palette has been out, I think it came out last month actually, so I'm a little bit late to the game, but I have heard so many people talk about this and say how amazing it is, and they've actually compared it to the Blueberry Muffin palette, which is one of my all-time favorite palettes, and some people even said that this is better. So that definitely piqued my curiosity, and I just had to find out for myself. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. I do beauty, special effects, and perfume related videos every single week on my channel. If you are into that kind of thing, then please subscribe. Also, head over to my Instagram, which is Jaxbeautifulyou, to check out more looks that I do over there as well. And if you are interested in seeing me do a look with the Passion in Paris palette, some swatches of this palette, and some comparisons with this palette and the Blueberry Muffin palette, then just keep on watching. All right, this is what this beautiful palette looks like. I really like the color story, and yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the color story. I'm a big fan of purples, blues. These kind of berry tones are right up my alley. And yeah, I'm really hoping that the formula is good. BH Cosmetics is one of those brands that I feel like they have an amazing formula when they want to. Sometimes it's just okay though. It's really hit and miss for me. I wouldn't actually say miss. I haven't really tried anything from BH Cosmetics that I thought was a total fail or an actual miss, but I have tried a couple of things from them that isn't as good as what I know that they're capable of. So the Blueberry Muffin palette and the Naughty palette from BH Cosmetics are off the charts. So good, and I'm really hoping that this one is the same. I got mine at Ulta and it's for $17. I will say that the color stories of the Blueberry Muffin palette and this palette do look a little similar at first glance. So this is the Blueberry Muffin palette by them, and this one I have raved about. I have a review on this one. It is fantastic quality. And this is what the color story of the Blueberry Muffin palette looks like, and these are the two palettes side by side. Blueberry Muffin, Passion in Paris. So they do have some similarities, but I feel like the Blueberry Muffin definitely leans more on the blue side, obviously, where this one has more berry and purple tones. But I will be comparing them. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch Passion of Paris, and then I'm going to swatch Blueberry Muffin. I'm going to swatch the shades that I think look comparable next to the shades in here to see if they are actually similar or not. All right, so this is the first row swatched in the Passion of Paris. I'm going to look at the Blueberry Muffin palette now, and I'm going to see if there are any shades that I feel like are comparable. There's one shade here that I feel like might be... No, those are two completely different shades, so those two are completely different. This one, though, has a shade in the Blueberry Muffin palette that I feel is the same. So let me swatch those next to each other. No, those aren't the same either. This is a lot icier in the Paris. This one has like more of like a golden shift to it in the Blueberry Muffin. I don't see anything at all that resembles this like silver shimmer. In the Blueberry Muffin palette, there is like a gray matte shade, but nothing silver shimmer. The closest to it is like a light silver. Yeah, and those are completely different. This is like a light silver and this is a gray. So not the same. And then a matte navy blue. The closest thing I can see in the Blueberry Muffin palette is this shade. And as you can see, these two are completely different. This is a dark, this is more of like a periwinkle blue. So far in the first row, there's really not a lot of shades that compare. All right, this is the second row in the Paris palette. I really don't see anything in the Blueberry Muffin palette to match that. There is no purple at all in the Blueberry Muffin, so at least there are no mattes. There's kind of a shimmer shade that looks a little on the purple side, but nothing that would compare to that. This shade right here, there's nothing as well. This is more of like a teal kind of matte. Yeah, the only thing that I would find close to that, that's not even close. So yeah, those are two completely different shades. I really don't see a comparison there. This shimmer shade right here though, I do feel like there's one in the Blueberry Muffin palette that will compare. Yeah, those two shimmers are pretty similar. They're a little bit different. This one's a little bit bluer and this one has a little bit of a purple-ish hint to it. Not exactly the same, but so far these are the only two shades that I have found that are quite similar to each other in the palette. All right, and then we have the third row, which I have to say right now, this shade right here is absolutely stunning. Upon swatch, I don't see anything at all in the Blueberry Muffin palette that matches. This shade right here, there might be one. The closest one I can find to that shade. This one right here is from the Blueberry Muffin palette. It does look similar to this one. This one's a little bit darker, a little bit more blue, or this one's a little bit more purple, but those are pretty similar to each other. So far I feel like there are two shades in the Paris that are quite comparable to two shades in the Blueberry Muffin. This shimmer shade right here is a gorgeous purple metallic from the Paris. I don't see anything at all like that. The closest to it, this isn't even going to be close probably. That's really the only purple shimmer that's in the Blueberry Muffin, and it's not even really a true purple. So as you can see, they don't match any of this one or this one. And then there's a matte black in the Paris one. There's also a matte black in the Blueberry Muffin, but it has a little bit of sparkle in it. It doesn't really show up though when you put it on the eyes, so I feel like they're both just going to be two matte blacks. Let's find out. So yeah, this is the one from the Blueberry Muffin. It has a little bit of sparkle in it, but you can barely see it. And then this is just the plain matte black from the Paris palette. So these two are very similar to each other, and so that's three shades that I feel like are quite similar to each other so far. All right, this is the last row, you guys, from the Paris palette. This shade right here, I feel like the closest to it. This shade right here is the closest I could find to it, but as you can see, they're not the same color. This is much darker than this one. And then these two are the closest I could find. I re-swatched a different one though with this shade right here from the Paris. That's this shade as well. And there were two in the Blueberry Muffin that I thought might be similar, but they're really not, as you can tell. This is a much icier color. This is a little bit more peach, and this one has pink in it, where these two are definitely not the same at all. So far, not a lot of comparisons there. There is absolutely no red berry type matte in the Blueberry Muffin, and there's also no red shimmer in the Blueberry Muffin either. So from what I can tell, it looks like there are three shades from the Paris palette that are quite similar to three of the shades in the Blueberry Muffin palette, but that's about it. So this is a 16 pan palette, and like I said, I think that there are about three shades that look pretty close in the Blueberry Muffin. So I'll leave it up to you to decide if you think that you need both of these, if this is something that you like. Personally, I think that they're different enough that I feel justified in having both of them, but that is completely up to you. So as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel, I usually do my eye makeup first. That's why I have a bare face right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do my eye makeup using the Paris palette. We're going to do a look with this gorgeous thing, and then I'll put on the rest of my makeup afterwards, and then we'll discuss final thoughts. Okay, so starting out, I'm going to go ahead and use my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I will say that all the swatches were really good. They felt really, really nice, but swatches don't tell the full story. Sometimes things swatch really nice on the arm, but they're terrible on the eyes, and vice versa. So let's do a look and find out. I really like to use as many shades as I possibly can in these types of reviews, but this is 16 different shades, so obviously I'm not going to be able to use all of them, but I'll try to use as many as I can. So I'm going to start out with this first one. This is pretty light, and I feel like it would make a pretty good transition shade. I am not going to even attempt to try to say these names because they're all like French. Well, not all of them. Some of like City of Light is in here. Eiffel Tower. Moulin Rouge. I can say some of those, but some of them I have no idea, so, you know. I am so bad at pronouncing things. It's not even funny. Actually, it is funny. It's actually kind of funny. It's so bad it's funny. My husband thinks it's funny. Okay, that's a very light shade, but it went on nice and smoothly, and you can definitely see it, so no issues there. Let's go down to Notre Dame right here, this next light shade, and still putting that on a fluffy brush. Let's bring this to my fake crease, since I have hooded eyes. That's still a pretty light shade. Let's put another layer on and see if it builds up. All right, I'm gonna go into this like lavender purple color right here that looks absolutely stunning. Still using a fluffy brush. I'm gonna go a little bit lower than where I put that last shade, but not by much. I still wanna be able to see it. That's really, really pretty. So far these mattes are just blending out like butter, but these are really light mattes and those are usually pretty easy to do, so, you know, let's keep going. All right, let's try a dark shade and see how the dark shades work. So let's go into this dark blue shade right here, and I'm gonna use that on the outer corners and up into my crease a little bit. Just going to really pack it on first. Nice pigmentation. And then back into the fluffy brush to make sure that everything's blended. Okay, and then let's connect that color to more of the middle portion with the shade right here. It's kind of like a periwinkle blue, and we're just going to take this down into the crease area and just kind of blend where that blue and purple meet so it kind of mixes a little better. I normally probably wouldn't have this many shades all at once on my eyes, but I'm trying to test out all of these, as many shades as I possibly can. So I'm doing more than normal, but I am definitely liking the way everything's blending. Everything's blending really easily, and the colors are mixing together without looking like too muddy, you know what I mean? But I don't really want to add on too much more to the mattes, because that's, if you have too many mattes together, things just start to muddle together and look a little muddy. So I'm going to stop here. I am going to go into this shimmer shade right here. That is a gorgeous shade, and I am excited to test it out. So I'm going to put this on the outer portion of my lid. Using my finger. It's a very, very beautiful shade. Love it. But I do feel like this shade is already in the Blueberry Muffin palette. I feel like there's a very similar shade in the Blueberry Muffin palette to this one. Still really pretty though. Okay, next up I want to go into this shade right here, this purple shade. There's no purple shimmers in the Blueberry Muffin, so let's use this one. And we're just going to put it on the middle portion of the lid and kind of blend it into that other shade on the outer portion. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, look at me. And this is why I do my eye makeup first. I am a mess. That was not fallout from the palette, by the way. That was me. That was all me. I'm not even going to clean that up right now, because I'll just clean it up at the end. Okay, and then I really want to use this shade right here because it's swatched so beautifully, and I'm very excited for it. And I'm gonna kind of mix it in with the middle shade there. See, these are the shimmers that I knew BH Cosmetics was capable of. All right, I'm gonna use some micellar water and clean up this mess because I look ridiculous. Okay, and I absolutely cannot wait for this shade. I need to use it right now. It looks so icy and just gorgeous. So I'm actually gonna use a brush for this shade, but I am gonna wet the brush because I love really intense inner corner highlights. Whoa. Holy mother of inner corner highlights. That is gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Wow. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup real fast, and then I will come back and we will talk about what I think about this palette. All right, guys, I'm back and I finished up the lower lash line. I just used basically the same shadows that I used on my lids, except I did add a little bit of black underneath, like right on the outer corner of my lower lash line. And that was just fine. No problems with the matte black in here at all. But yeah, you guys, I have to say I really like this palette. This is beautiful. I think that it is different enough from the Blueberry Muffin palette in order to justify getting this one. Again, this retails for $17 at Ulta, and I think it's gorgeous. This shade right here is stunning, especially if you wet the brush. As you guys saw, that was amazing. The shimmers are very, very beautiful, and the mattes were, at least the mattes that I tried, were very blendable, pigmented, no issues with anything. So I find that BH Cosmetics is pretty consistent with their mattes. Most of the time, their mattes are a really good formula, and I don't really have any troubles with the mattes. The thing that I find to be a little inconsistent with BH Cosmetics is the shimmers. Sometimes they have absolutely gorgeous, just knock them out of the park shimmers, like this one and this one. And then sometimes there's just kind of like okay shimmers, in my opinion. So I think this is fantastic. The hype is real. And I do think I prefer this over the Blueberry Muffin. Now, I think the quality is the exact same. But as far as color story is concerned, yeah, I think I like the Paris one a little bit better because you know I love purple. I do really like this one too though, so yeah. This gets my stamp of approval for sure. Definite thumbs up. If you've been eyeballing this palette and wondering about the quality or wondering if the hype is real, I'm here to tell you it really is. It's fantastic. So I'm really, really glad that I got it, and I really love the way that the look turned out. This is a beautiful look, and I'm excited to play with this palette a little bit more. And I'm curious to know what you guys think. Is this a palette that you have had your eye on? Are you interested in it? Do you think you'll be picking it up? Let me know in the comment section below. I love to hear from you guys. I hope everybody's having an amazing day, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.